I was born and bred in the wonderful West Midlands, and I'm proud to tell, well, anyone who'll listen, just how fabulous this region is. But what if it could get even more fabulous? What if it could become a national park? National parks were originally created to protect areas of countryside, wildlife and heritage. This film shows how the idea was being promoted 80 years ago.
Would you rather see houses sprawling over the broad acres, or the unsullied and natural downs? Or are you going to take the road to national parks, the road to freedom, freedom of England's country?
But now a landscape architect is convinced that a new and radically different national park should be created right here in the largely urban West Midlands. I'm heading into Birmingham to meet Professor Catherine Moore, who thinks this project really is feasible. So Catherine, this is your big vision, to make the West Midlands a national park. I'm looking out of that window and I'm thinking, how?
That is precisely the point. It's a time to redefine national parks, and it's based on the idea that the landscape isn't just the trees and the grass and what you see out there, but it's actually to do with your culture and identity.
Catherine's created a series of maps to help share her vision, including a new area she's calling Central Park. So Central Park there...
Central Park is here, yeah. Well, that's what I'm suggesting.
Could be out there.
Yes. So the idea is that we have the park that comes underneath the viaduct of the railway line. You've got the Grand Union Canal and the canal that goes around Birmingham. You've got the River Ray and a host of listed buildings, so it could show off and showcase the extraordinary heritage that Birmingham has. It used to be known as a city of 1,000 trades, so why can't it be a city of 1,000 parks and squares? And these could lead from this Central Park right across and around the West Midlands.
So this is a vast project. It's the whole of the West Midlands. It's incredible.
If we recognise this immense rolling landscape that's at the heart of England, you've got this uplifted plateau with the whole network of canals, and this area is the Black Country. This is the area that was dug up for the Industrial Revolution for coal, limestone and iron ore. It has thousands of sites of special scientific interest and listed buildings. It is one of the most geologically diverse regions in the world. If we begin to recognise that, then the immense sense of pride that can come from that, I think it is absolutely worth celebrating.
So it seems to be a balance between our amazing landscapes and our towns and cities. I've come to King's Heath High Street in Birmingham to hear some opinions on the idea of a national park.
I think it's great. There's too much traffic and stuff around, so it'd be nice to have more greenery for the kids to play in.
I think it's a new idea, but I think we've got lots of parks anyway.
I have bipolar, chronic depression, stuff like that. I never used to come out, so if there was nice places to go, I probably would come out a little bit more.
One of the things that really concerns me is the air quality. One good reason to have a lot more greenery in urban spaces.
A new national park for the West Midlands sounds exciting. It sounds good for us, doesn't it? But there are so many other considerations for the West Midlands, not least building more houses and more affordable houses. Here in Hall Green in southeast Birmingham, they're building new flats. Rico's a senior policy advisor representing small and medium-sized house builders. So how many houses do we need to build here in the West Midlands?
Well, over the next 12 years, it's predicted we need 215,000, which is obviously driven by the investment of HSBC, Jaguar Land Rover, HS2, and generally the promise that the West Midlands holds.
So what do you think then of this idea of a new West Midlands National Park? Is it actually viable?
Well, it's a fantastic idea. But at the moment it isn't viable, unfortunately. We haven't got the right analysis and the right tools to understand what is good biodiversity, what is a great environment. You know, we don't have all the data to understand what species are in across what pieces of land and how we can really support them. So actually, before we make decisions, such great decisions as those, we really need to implement those measures, and actually government is going through that process right at this minute.
So, more research lies ahead, but this is a long-term plan. And housing is just one of many pressing needs in the West Midlands, as is our health, both physical and mental. I've come to a very special garden in Birmingham to meet a man who says even a small green space can make us happier. Ecotherapy, if you like. Superintendent Sean Russell is a police officer with special responsibilities for mental health.
I think for me, when you start to think about our demographics in our area, that our population within the West Midlands are challenged by poor mental health. The evidence is very clear that actually getting out and good open space is really good for your mental health.
So this is an absolutely beautiful garden right in the heart of a really busy area.
Yep.
Who comes here and how do they benefit?
So the Thrive Gardens here are fantastic, and we have a real variety of people who come and use this space. So we have school children, we have young adults, we have elderly people, people with learning disability, people with mild and moderate mental health issues. But being out in that open space, taking that few minutes for you to have that time to yourself, to think about how you are and to reflect is really, really important.
What then do you think the value of having a West Midlands National Park would be?
If you ask most people where do you book your holiday, they say the seaside or the country. So actually inherently we want to escape to that space. Why can't we make that space to escape to every day? So I think the people of the West Midlands have a real opportunity here to be part of a journey which really transformed the way that urban design, the way that we live is created within our space.
A West Midlands National Park might seem ambitious, but remember, every tree was, well, once just a small sapling. And 30 years ago, the idea for a national forest was just that, an idea. And maybe an idea for our time. People scoffed at a national forest healing the scars of mining and industry in Staffordshire, Derbyshire and Leicestershire. Millions of trees later, look at it now. The National Forest was a big success, and a national park could potentially benefit 350 square miles of land and 3 million people. But it's not just vast open spaces. Urban spaces can be made greener too, like the roof of the Library of Birmingham.
To come somewhere so special as this, it helps to create memories and things that you will always remember. You'll never forget being up here because it is so unique. That's pretty close. Okay, so that's the icon tower that they rebuilt. And then all of this area here is just growing so much. The reason why I really like it is because it gives you such an incredible sense of identity, because you can locate yourself by the horizon all around. What you can see from here is how quickly the city is developing. I mean, the number of cranes around is extraordinary, and that shows you how buoyant and how fast-growing the population is.
So we should be really proud of that,
We should be really proud of it, and we should be talking about it, and that should be driving forward all these different strategies that we see. Housing, industry, transport, education, so that not only just that you do feel proud when you come here, but it's part of the ethos and the culture and the way that we live, that everything that we do is to emphasise and to contribute to that. That's how it would become the West Midlands National Park.
This idea is being worked on right now. Just imagine, one day the Black Country might even be called, well, the Green Country. And in 25 years or so, we might be living in a national park. And that's right amongst the skyscrapers, factories, motorways, and the rest. We'll just have to watch the space.